All right, we're live. Welcome to the Geeks or the Geezers, whichever one you want to call us, because we're both. This is Lil.
This is Steve, keeping it green.
Let's see. My tag today, which I'm going to change every week. I don't know.
Are you going to do this every week?
I wanted to start I wanted to start quotes, or I wanted to kind of give up a topic of the week. But this week we're talking about conspiracy. So,
Topic of the week.
Conspiracies. Because clearly there's a lot of conspiracies out there, but this is Sean, so.
I do want to, because I was thinking about it this week. Like we talk a lot of geek stuff. We talk a lot about aging geeks because we're talking about we're old and
wait,
doing this 9 years.
We start talking. We're gonna do a Mando review,
of course,
but are we gonna do it live? Like we're gonna do like a pre-recording.
No, we're gonna do this live. We're gonna talk about Mando.
Because I wanted to watch the show and then record. Like I wanted to do the live recording thing
for Mando.
Yeah.
No. You want to have it playing while we record?
Well, kind of like we can fast forward, but we can just record it and then we don't gotta do it live. We just put it on on a feed, which will bring probably more. Right?
Why didn't we talk about this before?
I know. I just thought about it. That's why.
All right, we might have to work on something.
We got to backtrack on that one.
What's up?
Yeah, we have to go to the drawing board.
What's up,
fellas?
Yeah.
We're not prepared for any of this.
We're just making shit up on the fly. I mean,
we've been doing that since day one, haven't we?
We really have. It's
pretty fun. At least we're consistent. Consistently,
we are consistently
inconsistent.
We are so inconsistent.
That is the new name of our podcast. Is consistently inconsistent.
Oh, that's a great podcast.
I want a shirt.
If we rename that, I would actually go with that.
Then we can cover whatever we want.
We can be inconsistent on everything.
It doesn't matter what we do.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Look, you know what I like is that when we started this show, we had like all these big things we were doing. Like we were trying to interview people, and I was like doing these unbelievably intricate intros, all this stuff.
Yo, first of all, those intros were amazing, bro.
Right.
Amazing.
But we've whittled it down so much
to literally nothing now.
Now we're like, we should just do another show where we're just inconsistent all the time.
Welcome to the inconsistent show.
Gosh,
that is too funny.
Starring Lil, Steve, and Sean.
I mean, it is true, right? Like, we tried really hard to stick with a format, and then it just started. Like, then we went with one format, then another format, then went back to the old way, then just gave up. It's just like we just
did we give up though?
We didn't give up. We just do it. We just have fun, because we were trying to be all buttoned down and professional, and we're like, fuck that. That's not who we are. It's really not.
I wanted to be professional at one time, but it got inconsistent.
The amount of work, man. The amount of work it takes. Just
it's a lot
Thank
of
you,
work
Archangel.
to be consistent.
Thank you.
It's a lot of work to be consistent. I watch a lot of these other podcast shows on YouTube, and I'm like, man, they're so put together.
I know. A lot of these other shows got their shit together. I'm like, good for them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I could do a lot with some more free time too. Yeah, I don't know, like,
yeah, because this is not sponsored by some hair clippers that shave men's balls or some, what was that, hymns. All those shows I see like are sponsored by things, and I'm like, of course, they took on sponsorships so they could pay people to edit their shit and do their shit, and I'm like, we're just gonna go live, and then I'm just gonna post that
Yeah.
shit whenever I
You know
feel
what else
like
we're gonna do? We're gonna test the limits of fucking YouTube's terms of service week in and week out.
Yeah, guys, because we've got 2 strikes against us, and a third we get knocked off for a while. So,
Are you serious? Is that what it is?
Yeah, oh yeah. Thank you, Archangel. We're not selling out. Believe me, because if we were gonna sell out, we would have sold out.
Oh, we'd have said,
we tried. Nobody would buy.
No, yeah. We've mentally tried to sell out many times.
We've had people try to buy things, and then we would see like what they wanted to sell, and we're like, no, we don't want to do that.
We
don't like your stuff.
We had Entertainment Earth at one time. I think we had like a sideshow banner on. Remember we had a website?
Yeah.
You remember that? Remember the good old days where we had a website?
We had a website. Yo, we had all kind of shit popping, man. We was in. We was getting toys from Entertainment Earth. Alo still has stuff. I'm pretty sure I don't, but
I'm pretty sure all of that has been sold. Or in a box in a garage. None of it's up here.
I mean, we tried, man. We tried.
I mean, I gave away a lot of stuff. We gave away a lot of the Entertainment Earth stuff. So,
we gave away a giant Transformer, this thin D-string at one time, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that big.
Young Finn.
Whatever the Constructicon kind of thing, you know.
Finn. Yeah.
I think he still does toy stuff though. I think
he still does.
It's just gone through a lot of incarnations, and fuck, like
the Facebook page sucks. Like nobody like does anything on the Facebook pages anymore. It's
nothing.
But does anybody like really look on Facebook anymore?
Yes, yo, there's a Star Wars Facebook page. These motherfuckers are fucking posting every goddamn day. Like people comment every goddamn day on these Star Wars pages. It makes
a lot of work, man.
It's crazy.
I hate posting on social media, period, now.
So do I.
Sean, like, if you look at, like, you guys are on my personal friends list, and a lot of listeners are too, but, like, I don't fucking post anything ever to anybody.
And then when I post a selfie of myself, Sean yells at me. So, I mean, you're
a grown man taking selfies. I mean, come on. No,
stop doing that.
We've had this conversation. Men should not have selfies. It is.
Yeah. Oh, well, if you own a selfie stick, that's like one.
I don't own a selfie stick. I just hold the camera up like this, and I take it.
It's nonsense. To men out there who are taking selfies, you should be ashamed of yourself. It's
Sean
gross.
Planted his flag of that shit. He's like, selfies for men.
I'm sorry, sir. It's just stupid. Like, it's just the dumbest shit. Like, what you?
I mean, I have my own too. Like open toe sandals for men. No, I'm not. I'm not for it.
Put your toes away. What you doing? Put your toes away.
It's not nuggets away, man.
It's not my thing. What is this? When you make it a business, it's no longer fun. I agree, Archangel. Agree. You might get Blockbuster sponsor. That's a sponsor we would take.
Man, I wonder what I would need to do to like turn my
Big Birds like
into an actual Blockbuster. Like, could I get a license? Could I contact Blockbuster and be like, "Yo, I want to like let people rent some of these tapes out of my garage"? Like, can I be an affiliate?
Blockbuster does not exist anymore, Steve.
Somebody has to own it.
There's one in Bend, Oregon.
Yeah, and it's just an independent.
It's independent though.
So if nobody owns it, then I could
legitimately not even a company anymore. So,
but they have a
it's a copyright issue.
Owns the copyright.
Somebody owns the brand.
Somebody owns the brand because that's where they still sell the T-shirts and stuff.
I guess.
Big Bird doesn't even post in the community chat. I know, like a lot of people like the community chat. I do have to say that, like the community chat that we created.
There's been some community conversations in there.
There's some good conversations there. I'm glad.
But it's only like 5 people. It's like literally like we got we have a community.
Maybe 10, 15.
Maybe. What if I opened up my garage and I called it Blockbuster? just
Bluck Duster. There you go. Archangel. I'm glad you got that Zoom, Archangel.
Fuckbuster.
Buckbuster.
Buckfuster.
Look at the movies that you rented if that's it.
What Buckfuster? Doesn't that sound terrible?
It sounds terrible.
I'm going to the Buckfuster video store. Oof. That's a fun word to say. I like that.
So
we can do Geekbuster.
You could.
Yeah,
But that sounds like a weird Ghostbuster thing.
It does.
He's like, Big Bird likes reading the posts, but he just never posts. That's all right, man. It's all right. A lot of people do that. A lot of people read and just don't comment. And that's okay. I do
Yeah,
too.
but,
I read a lot of those, and sometimes I don't.
Like, shout out to Max and Josh and some of the other cats in there.
And Kenneth.
They're always
posting.
Kenneth, always posting stuff in there. It's cool to see it going. They were saying something about a Discord, and that's like my oldness. I'm like, I don't know what Discord is. So
I have a Discord, and I have no idea what it does.
Yeah, so I'm like, and someone's like,
clue.
oh, well, they should have a Geekz Discord, and I'm like, like, does somebody want to like do it?
Yeah, if you want to do it, then be my guest.
Because they're like, stream on Twitch. I'm like, I don't know how. I'm like, I just figured out how to stream on YouTube after
like
10 years.
But like,
it took us years to figure out fucking streaming on YouTube.
But I guess like you could stream this show like we're doing it now.
Yeah,
on Twitch.
I know. I just gotta start a Twitch and then
start a Twitch.
Connect
what do
and
you
then
fucking
connect it.
Create a login and then you just add it to this and then press go.
Is it
like
that
5
easy?
steps?
Is it that easy?
It has to be.
I don't know. I don't know because I used to be able to stream on Facebook and like then they like Facebook stopped us allowing to stream. So I don't know. I don't know.
We're about to find out right now. I'm looking it up.
Facebook, Facebook, but that's not just us. Like Facebook just stopped allowing shows to do that entirely.
No, it's weird. I don't know why they stopped, but they let fucking everything else fly by.
Well, it's just like here when we get kicked off for showing anything.
Oh, stream on Twitch. Oh, wow. Oh, that's it?
Look, there's a fucking big banner. It just says go.
It literally does. It's like, you got to pay for it, though.
I'm already paying for this, so
I mean, advertisements is like $64. God damn.
So I know we talk a lot about geek stuff, but there's been a lot of crazy shit happening in the world over the last couple months that we've kind of ignored.
I mean,
not in our own.
The last couple of months, you say?
Well, longer than that, of course.
Lordy.
Longer than that, of course. But like,
it's been amped up a little recently.
There's been shit flying in the air, UFO sightings, like weird shit. Like I don't know what to believe anymore.
You know, there's a big train that derailed, and there's like a toxic fucking chemical spill.
Ohio is like ground zero for like people are saying like animals are dying and all of this crazy shit. Yeah, I don't even know that this Alex Murdoch trial or like what the hell. All I heard, the only reason I heard about that trial was because I was listening to sports radio, and they had clips from OJ talking about that trial. Why is OJ talking about that trial? Like, why is OJ even involved? You're on mute, Steve.
Sorry, I heard that clip too. OJ was like, "Up, down goes Murdoch." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Ooh, OJ, chill out, man." Fly under the radar.
Just enjoy what you got left because
take your W and walk with it, man.
But no, you know, I was just thinking about things one day. Yeah, Sean texted about AI basically ready to kill us. And,
oh yeah, that's gonna happen.
And I know we've talked about, joked about this reset button and all this stuff, and then I just started, and I'm not going into the hardcore politics of it, right? I'm not talking. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican. We're not doing all that stuff, but it's just weird seeing like the huge swings from both sides, right? And then you've got these things floating all across the country, being shot down everywhere. I've never heard of this shit. One was a satellite or whatever, but then there's all these other ones. Steve, you were freaking out about the one in Canada
because they had American jets shoot something down in Canadian airspace. That's huge. That's like never fucking happened before. Yeah. No, but still, like it's like big news, but it was just like, it's nothing.
It was all that stuff is like dusted under the.
Here's the other thing. All that shit that they shot down, we can't get it. We can't get to the debris. No,
we
just can't get to it.
That was all bullshit.
And it's like,
You know they
Really?
have it. You know they have
Really?
it.
You mean you can't get to it? And like, it was probably like, like a business or something, like for research and shit. It's probably like something like that. Like, it's definitely not Chinese, but we don't know what it was. You're like, but like, no business has come forward and been like, yo, you shot down my fucking $500,000 piece of equipment. Like, you owe me some fucking money. Like, no business has come out and said like they shot my shit down. So like, well, what the fuck was it? And where is it?
It's very interesting. And so this is what I'm
Just
saying.
questions.
I think we've already been invaded by the lizard people. I'm talking about V. Sean, you remember that show V back in the day, man, where they looked like humans and then they ripped their skin off and they'd be lizard people. It's happening.
Right.
I guarantee you
I think you're taking a leap here.
I'm not taking a leap. It's
you are shooting for the edges on this
like
one.
I was trying to like just ease us in with like questions, and you were like lizard people. Like
I was easing it with Steve.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid because I'm watching all this stuff happen, and I'm like, man, like there's a lot of stuff being swept under the rug, and a lot of weird things happening to take our minds off of things.
Real quick, we have a Twitch now.
Really?
Yeah. Just set it up.
So Sean said, "Can you stream this on the Twitch? Can you?"
I don't think I can. We got to go through a whole setup thing going on with this shit, but
all right,
we'll figure it out next week.
We'll figure it out. Archangel, I'm not posting that, but that is hilarious. He's all right. You know what? I'm going to post that. I don't care. It's a train derail. There he is. Toxic evacuation. Oh my God, Archangel. We love you and your inappropriateness.
Well, you got to watch out there in Florida now. You got those brain-eating amoebas in your tap water.
I know,
so, right? And you guys have snow. It was snowing in Disneyland, and I'm like, what is happening? Southern California is getting snow. Like, what?
Feet of snow. I have a buddy from high school who moved up to the mountains down there in the San Bernardino area.
Yeah.
He's been trapped in his house for over a week. There's no grocery stores. They cannot get out.
Can't get anything. Yeah,
it's like what the fuck? It is crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's all these crazy events happening, and
lizard people
don't hear a lot. And I'm saying lizard people. I'm going with lizard people. I mean, I use that.
Makes just as much sense as anything else, I guess.
I use that.
No, Lou's going too far. He went too far for me. Like lizard people, okay. I mean, if you think so,
I think he's using it as a descriptor more than a literal.
But for me,
I'm not saying that all of a sudden people are going to be like, with the lizard tongues like in the show V, but I'm saying something's going on. Something big is going on, and I don't know what it is.
I mean,
I'm trying to figure it out because everyone's trying to throw like these curveballs to divert your eyes.
Do you remember? Was it last year or the year before when like those monoliths started popping up and then disappearing and shit? And it was like,
yeah, in the it was in the deserts and shit.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I've never even seen that. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, we were talking about it on this show.
For sure, we talked about it. Like they would be there, and then people would like go take pictures and shit, and then it would like the next day it was just not there.
Gone.
My conspiracy is planes. I don't know what the fuck is going on with planes, but planes are fucking just doing bad shit right now, and it's troubling to me.
Oh man, so troubling. You didn't like Knock at the Cabin.
I know, but
I'm watching that movie and thinking about that, where all of a sudden planes are falling out of the sky and doing weird shit.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know.
I'm like, I'm confused.
Yeah, here, James has got something. Did you hear about the new drug that gets people so high they'll walk around like zombies?
Yes, I forgot what it's called. It's crazy.
See, this is James. Thank you for bringing this up. Like everybody, if you've got conspiracies that you're hearing, again, I didn't even know about this tap water amoeba thing until Sean. So what did I do today? I bought 5 packs.
What's crazy is that how come me in California, who doesn't even watch the news, how did I know about that shit before you, who live in Florida and do watch the news, knew about it?
I have no idea. Nobody's again. This is what I'm saying. People are diverting your eyes from different shit. That's what's happening. That's why something's happening. It's like, oh, let's divert our eyes. Ryan
You're
says
right.
that's called K2.
Oh shit.
He's Archangel. I thought bath salts make zombie people. Not well. I mean, they do.
They do. Remember, they made that one kid like freak out and eat his neighbor and shit.
Yeah, Trank.
I think that is right, James. I think that is right.
There's NASA has a mega telescope that is really out there. They can tell that ET is really out there. Scientists believe they will be able to spot telltale signs of life on thousands of planets within the next 20 years. Mm-hmm. They already know.
20 years.
First of all, NASA, stop this bullshit like y'all don't know something is out there. First of all, there's something on the fucking moon, and nobody's telling us there's anything on the moon. There's something on that goddamn moon. I'm sorry to tell you this.
It's Dr. Manhattan.
There's something on that goddamn moon, but we just can't see the other side of the moon. That's the problem. I'm convinced that there's another species out there. It has to be, right? It has to be.
We can't be the only life form.
We can't be the only fucking life form living on one planet in this giant ass solar system.
No, but that's you're talking about like the universe and shit, and yeah, for sure. Like, there's no way we could be the only sign of life or any life form anywhere. Right. But what about here? What the fuck is going on with like Antarctica? How come nobody can go there? What's going on?
Why is every country in Antarctica?
What? You're not allowed to go there.
Why? I didn't even hear
Every
about
country in the world has made an agreement that you can't fuck around in Antarctica. Nope.
Yeah,
because the lizard people.
I don't know, but
see, Big Berg agrees with me.
Is it because of? I don't know what it's because of, but it's for a fucking reason.
Yeah, you know the real scary part is we've only literally have seen 25% of the fucking ocean in this world. There is another like 80 to 75% of the ocean that has not been discovered. Like China the other day just found 5 islands that they never even knew about, or Japan. Like,
yeah.
What? Like, this shit is crazy. There are so many species on this planet that we have not discovered that is under that ocean right now. And they found the other day, I think I was watching something, they found a 25-foot fucking sea snake that wrapped around, and they've never seen it before. They didn't have a name for it or anything. There's species out there that just are never been known before that they're starting to discover now.
See, I went like on a rabbit hole about this Antarctica shit, and I found some photos from like what was supposedly an expedition in Antarctica in 1912, and like I don't know, they say the photos are real. I don't fucking know, but like they showed some crazy ass shit, like statues and fucking buildings and all kinds of weird shit in fucking Antarctica. And you're like, ooh.
So here's the problem here, and this is what I'm gonna say. Here's the problem. This is the problem we're gonna run into, right? Like that old War of the World shit, those stories and stuff, because people doctor photos all the time.
Right.
We're never gonna know shit's happening because half the people aren't gonna believe it because of stuff like that. Because everybody's doctoring shit. So like once we see something, like unless we see it with our own eye, we're never gonna believe what's happening.
Because,
well, I know. That's the scary part, right?
That's kind of like how I view all this stuff with like conspiracy theories or like anything like that, paranormal shit, cryptozoology, all that shit. I look at it from a sense of like, it's not like that I 100% believe in it, but I would like to believe that it's real. You know what I mean? Like,
there's a fucking monster in Antarctica, and they are not telling us. That's why we can't go there. If they find that motherfucker, and that thing is a giant fucking monster or something,
why did you just? Why did that become your fucking?
I started looking at Antarctica, and I'm like, it's not even that big. Why the fuck are they not letting us go there?
Dude, we're not allowed to go there. You can't fly over it.
No,
you can't do anything.
It says it right here. It's crazy. It's nonsense. It's not like they're fucking trying to save penguins. Like, what the fuck? Penguins
It's
are penguins.
fucking weird, man. And they do have like a little research thing, like right on the edge. But like,
it's the fucking thing.
There's a
Dude,
monster out there, man.
It's the thing. Where were they?
Could be. Something out there. There's something out here, man. That
yeah.
there's something out there. It's something. There's something. It is, and it's starting to unravel, but it's not unraveling fast enough.
I know.
I want to see it.
It's a slow burn. Like we're like taking place in like one of the worst horror movies of all time. Like it's just so slow. Like goddamn, when you just get to the fucking all this talking and character development. Let's go.
Yo, with the character development, we just want the fucking monsters. And shit.
I'm gonna tell you right now, yo. The other day when they started talking about aliens and shit, I sat in here and I started loading up. I was like, boop, boop. Yo, I was getting petrified. I was like, yo, if this happened to
you were getting petrified, were you?
I was scared, man. I was like, yo, let me start loading up, man, just in case. I mean, granted, they may be able to deflect bullets and shit. I don't know, but at least I'm ready.
They're fucking Neo from the fucking.
I mean, aliens.
Sean, if an alien civilization invaded us, that's it. Already, it's already over.
my wife got pregnant while I was deployed. I wasn't an alien.
Damn, Archangel.
That was your neighbor. Oh shit.
Yo, what Big Bird's talking about these structures found on the buried under the rainforest. They found like a whole civilization of shit.
They're finding all kinds of weird shit that's like carbon dated way back. Like you see all these weird architectural shit. Like how do they make this perfectly right angle in this stone with like, and it's from 500,000 years or whatever, you know, like fucking, I don't know. Doesn't make sense. Stonehenge. Yep. A bunch of fucking weird fucking Celtic people in loincloths stacked those around for some weird summer solstice celebration. Get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about?
What are those the faces on the island? What are those things called?
Easter Island.
Easter Island. Makes no
those
sense.
have bodies. They're buried under the ground. Those are also made of rocks that are not found on that island. So it's like,
like what?
I mean,
okay.
Predators are coming every 100 years.
I mean, something is coming, man. It's got to be coming, man. I'm just waiting for. I'm ready for it. I'm kind of ready for it, but I'm scared too at the same time. I'm like, what do you do in a situation like that?
Honestly, every time I think about something crazy like that happening, the first thing I think of is like, well, at least I'll have a day off of work.
Me too. Oh,
Steve, call your ass in. They'll be like, you need to get this fucking camera.
I'm like, well, at least we ain't got to pay taxes no more.
No, like I would tell Lino, I'm like, I'm not coming in today, bro. Like, do you see this?
I'm not paying taxes this year.
It's like fucking Independence Day. Remember when fucking Will Smith goes out to the fucking to get the paper and shit, and he's not looking at the fucking spaceship, but everybody else like stops and looks, and he's looking at them like, what the fuck's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, I am not paying any more bills.
Steve just loaded his truck, not even looking up and shit, driving to work, and then all of a sudden he fucking just turns around just for 1 second and like there's a fucking spaceship.
Yo, keep it real. If aliens fucking invaded, would you look at bills and be like, I ain't paying these a day?
Oh yeah. You want to know why? Because nobody that collects those bills is doing their job either. So.
No, I'm going to the bank and pulling everything out, putting it in gold or some shit.
Money is not going to matter because nobody's going to be running the fucking power plants or anything else either. Ooh, did you know what else happened this week though?
What?
They fucking created. Like there was a breakthrough in fusion technology, like fusion energy production technology. Like they were able to sustain it for longer than they've ever been able to sustain it for. If they
because of the alien tech that
if they figure that out, that's unlimited free energy, unlimited free clean energy.
Oh, that's going to cost, bro. That ain't going to, man. Listen,
no. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying it's going to be free for us. I'm just saying it's going to be free for them to generate and then sell to us. So they will literally be selling us nothing. But it will help with like straight up science fiction level propulsion systems and shit. Like
the volcanoes. Ryan thinks the volcanoes will be the start of it. Once all the
100,000 years
volcanoes
of
start
power, Steve. 100,000 years of power. U.S. and Japan teams hail H2 boron plasma fusion breakthrough. Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Crazy,
that's not gonna be ready for a while though.
Who cares? This is what I'm talking about though. This is news.
Yeah,
Nobody
but
heard
we don't
about
hear
that.
about it. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
either, Steve, that's either going to be, I'm going to tell you right now, that's either going to be a great thing
Or a
or
really bad
one
thing.
of the most horrible things in history that will destroy us all. I'm going to tell you this.
But I mean, that's the Russian roulette of history, right? I mean, like, you have this thing. Like, what do we do with it? Do we use it? See what happens?
I mean, our future is looking really glum. I'm gonna tell you this right now because I was watching last week tonight with John Oliver, and he was talking about the AI thing. I sent the article I sent you guys. I don't know if you guys watched it, but AI is such a great tool yet dangerous tool. And he was saying that, like, you know, there's great things that we can do with technology, but the governments of the world will find ways to corrupt it. And there will be ways to corrupt AI technology at its worst.
Of course. I mean, we've seen it in movies for the last 30
clearly,
years.
the nuclear bomb is like one of the most
well, not even that.
Greatest, it's one of the greatest discoveries, but one of the most worst things that we've ever used.
Because it's like we could use that technology to create energy, and as long as you have the correct infrastructure to prevent issues with that energy, you know, like nuclear power plant meltdowns, as long as you create the correct infrastructure around it, you're cool. But like, we'd rather just make weapons out of it, and then we'll just stick with burning coal and like digging more holes in the earth. Like
fucking coal.
What are we talking about? Like we already had, the future was right there, and then we just like stopped progressing like with our infrastructure. Like our infrastructure got to where it was in like the 80s, and then it just kind of chilled, and it's been there the same way. Like freeways, roads. It's like it's rare you even see new roads.
Oh
like,
my god! If you ever drive in Philadelphia, they don't even believe in roads because it feels like there's a fucking pothole on every goddamn road in Philadelphia.
It's just broken streets.
It's ridiculous.
But if you live in Philadelphia, you pay unbelievable taxes, right? No. And it's astronomically priced. So all of that money is going somewhere, but it ain't to fix the roads. Like that. I mean, that leads into a whole nother.
It's a whole nother topic.
It's a whole nother topic of just like, God. Where's my fucking money going?
it's really
to pay off the lizard people so they don't attack.
Our future is really grim. I'm gonna be honest, very grim.
I really do think COVID that like took it that way, right? It was like that big step that made things ridiculous.
Well, it was
it's not over because there's something else out there too that's starting to.
Ryan, the streets are ridiculous. And
Ryan, ridiculous. I don't even want to drive in Philadelphia. It's ridiculous. That's a conspiracy in its own.
you need metal wheels.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
You need like the fucking Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome vehicle.
But back to like AI, it's like it's such a great thing, but. It is so dangerous, man. We don't even know how to use it right now. Like people are using that chat GPT shit to do papers and to do homework. And it's like, it wasn't really even built for that. But
I read an article where a guy was using he was like reviewing one of those chat bots, the AI chat bot thing. And like, after only a couple hours of like asking it random questions and whatever, like, the chatbot got like fucking super weird and like.
I want you to watch that video. It was somebody who worked for Google, Steve.
It was that guy.
It's fucking crazy. It's like you guys created this shit, and now look at what's gonna happen. Like you guys are, it's insane.
Started talking about like its ambitions to be human, and like you're like, what the fuck?
They fucking made Ultron.
Like, but it only took like 2 hours. It took 2 hours without.
It started to learn more. That's fucking crazy. It's like you're telling it to do something and it keeps learning and learning and learning until it comes to a point where, oh, I'm going to take the nuclear codes because you know what? Humanity doesn't deserve to be here anymore because I've learned that you guys don't know how to do anything with humanity. It's the same exact shit.
It's Ultron.
It's Ultron.
It's fucking Ultron. This is literally Ultron. Like
we don't, and you know what the fucking cold part is? We don't have Avengers. We got all of our billionaires are assholes.
I've got a plastic Captain America shield from Hasbro that I'll go out there with that shit.
Oh man, you're done.
I'll be like, I can do this all day.
You imagine a little go out with a fucking Captain America shield.
With my plastic Thor hammer, just fucking.
Somebody out there's gonna be videotaping your ass.
It would just be like 5 minutes of him psyching himself up, and then as soon as he opens the door, blam! He just gets blasted by something, and that's it. It doesn't barely makes it out the door.
This shit is wild, man.
You fly back and die slowly. You're like, at least I died an Avenger.
Avengers.
Little hand, little baby hands.
Baby hands. James asks if we ever got that dollar bill where it says where's George? I've seen those.
No, I don't even know.
I've seen those. I've never gone on the websites. I'm terrified of that shit. I'm not doing that.
I don't go down the rabbit holes too far. If I go down the rabbit hole, I might not come back.
Ryan's still talking about the potholes where the popcorn shirt. That you remember that?
Yeah,
just driving through the potholes. That's hilarious. Instead of killing us, they will just sterilize everyone, and we will just slowly die off.
They could do that if they wanted to. They could do that with
already. To be
honest, that's what they're doing in Ohio with that fucking chemical spill in the water. They're like, hey,
and these amoebas in the water here that you're talking about.
You see that shit? They were like, the water's fine to drink here. And then those people that went outside into like the creek in their land and like threw a rock into the creek and like all the fucking oil just started right. You know, it's just like.
Oh,
you know,
shit.
Like, it ain't safe, man. Why are you out there telling people it's safe to drink? And then the guy that like runs all the transportation, they were like telling him like, hey, like, do you have anything to say about like this crazy ass like failure of the fucking railroad system and shit? He was like, oh, there's railroad crashes that happen all the time, but like, you know, nobody ever covers those, so we don't talk about them.
Oh,
Moving
no.
on. And you're like, oh, okay. But like, what the fuck?
There's a monster over there somewhere. It's like fucking, what was that movie with
Super 8?
Super 8? Yeah. There's a monster out there. We just don't know it yet.
Damn, James, 2 hours from you. You better move. That shit.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But like, and that's the thing though. It's not like frontline news. Like, I see some shit about the Oscars before I see anything about any of them.
Again, it's diverting our eyes, man. Again,
yeah.
Diverting our eyes.
It's crazy. It's crazy how nobody's talking about them aliens now. Like, it's crazy. No, the media.
It's over.
The balloons are gone. Shot down 4 things is gone.
Nobody talks about that shit. All of a sudden, boom, there's an explosion. Oh, we need to. That shit is strategic, man. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Because as you realize, you just like, damn.
I'm pretty sure.
This is what I'm talking about.
And I'm pretty sure there was actually a second train derailment with hazardous materials in Michigan as well.
There was, Steve.
Later on this last week.
Yeah, there was.
And they're not even talking about that one.
Yeah, man. This is wild, man. It's like movies. It's like, damn, these guys are crazy.
Well, James, I'm sure it was huge news there. It's just like the California weather, was big news here too, but like maybe not so much everywhere else in the country. But it's not that big news here. I wish it was. I wish there was more information on it, but they don't. But like, why not? Why isn't that huge? Why isn't the nation fucking like, yo, this is our people?
Yeah, going to help out, doing something about it. I mean, it goes all the way back to the water in Michigan, like the Flint, Michigan water that was brown.
Oh, that never got fixed. It's never been addressed.
Yeah, it's just ignored.
It was just news for like a year, and then it stopped gaining traction, so they stopped talking about it. No advertisers can pay for that for the money on that story because nobody's watching it no more. So they got to move on to something else.
No,
The draft is happening, the NFL draft. So we better shift focus over there.
I am interested in that, but I do have that number one
You're
pick.
part of the problem, though.
Yeah, you're part of the problem.
It is true. It is true. I am my attention is diverted to the draft. Like all I care about is ESPN, and if shit doesn't pop, like you guys sending me those links, I'm like, I didn't even hear about it.
So now you washing your face in amoeba.
I'm telling you, yeah.
Did you fill up that pool and spa and fucking with local Floridian water?
I got chlorine and salt, so I'm hoping that kills whatever amoebas are in there. I don't know.
Well, that was our rant.
And it's a good thing that it's a good thing that none of your kids are in any water sports or anything, right?
Yeah, rowing is not in the water at all.
Shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Sure. All right, so moving on. Let's divert. And talk about Geekz.
Divert that
Moving on. I got some comic books.
So like, I got some fucking things I got to think about now.
I gotta boil the water every time I use it now.
You're like, all right, I'm gonna bring up an amendment. So for the next rowing competition, we want to boil the lake. Boil the lake. Then when it cools off, we'll go back in.
Oh man.
I don't know, man. This is wild.
I'm telling you, like it's like you guys were sending me this stuff, and I started thinking more and more. I'm like, we stopped talking. The news stopped talking about this. The news stopped talking about that. Then you're right, Steve. Oscar talk, this talk, all the awards, and I'm like, who cares? Like the headline on Yahoo was like, oh, the six-figure gift bags at the Oscars, and I'm like, who cares?
Like so if I pull up like CNN right now, the lead story is something about Donald Trump. Like that's the first thing up there, right?
China to spend $224 million on their military because you know why? Because they're ready to go to war. That's why.
But you know what's not on the front page for some reason? The fact that the Department of Justice this week came out and said that, yeah, COVID-19 was more than likely from a lab leak in China. You know, like all the conspiracy theorists said, and when they didn't buy our wet market fucking bullshit story where a bat fucked something else and made it. I don't know. But that is a real thing. That really happened this week, but nobody's touching that. Now we'll talk about like some weird Donald Trump news for some fucking reason.
Yeah, and that's every site. Fox News' lead is about Biden. You know, MSNBC's news is about DeSantis. Like it's like nobody's talking about anything other than those things. So it's very interesting.
Or that Murdoch guy, he was fucking.
James said that Trump actually showed up in Ohio after that train derailment. That's interesting. See, I didn't even hear that. See? Oh yeah, that Murdoch guy. Like I
and Biden was like, I'm good. I don't need to go over there.
Biden don't talk about nothing. He clearly is dysfunctional, but whatever.
Well, it just feels like elderly abuse at this point. I feel bad for him.
You know, the great thing is,
would you give that man a popsicle and let him lay down?
Disney finally removed Zippity Doodah. Fucking that took forever.
See how long before.
Moving on.
See how long before the Country Bears.
Like, come on, man. Come on. Like, really? I've been complaining about that for how long, a little?
Country Bears, Sean. Country Bears.
We won't go down that rabbit hole. Yeah, you jerks.
We'll talk about it off.
Getting back into geek talk. We had 45 minutes of talking about conspiracy theories. So let's get into some geek talk.
All right.
You guys watch anything fun this week?
Not really, man. One thing I only watched.
I watched one thing, and I played a shitload of Hogwarts.
I played a very tiny bit of Hogwarts.
I did convince Sean to. Sean called me yesterday, which never happened, so it was quite nice. And during that conversation, I convinced him to buy Hogwarts. So
you did.
But it's only a single player game, right? Like
for now.
For now, until we get our Quidditch on. I'm assuming.
But I'm kind of in. Like I'm invested in it. Do you remember the game Fable? Do you remember Fable?
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of that.
Xbox 360, right?
Yeah. It reminds me a lot of Fable, and like I love those Fable games. So it just kind of it's in that same vein. It's very whimsical, the music and all that, the architecture. It's just a lot of fun. I'm kind of like really hardcore in the game right now. So,
well, Alex is obsessed with it. I can't even get my hands on it because he's been playing it like nobody's business. So,
does he play it on the Xbox or the PlayStation?
It's time for us to create a conspiracy podcast.
Well, I mean, look, if we change the name of the show to Consistently Inconsistent, we could just have podcast episodes.
Yeah, of just random thoughts.
I fucking love that consistency. Like I am so down for that.
You better fucking trademark that right now. You better create a page that uses that so somebody else doesn't.
I am so in for that podcast. I would do that every week. Like I would just throw geek stuff out the window. Like I would literally just talk about that. I mean, it'd be so fun.
But you wouldn't have to because sometimes you would talk about that. That would be the topic. So,
if you guys have been playing, Big Bird says he's been playing Path of Titans.
I've not heard of that game.
You play as a dinosaur and run around an open map, grinding quests to grow to an adult and just fight other players in the process.
No, I never heard of that.
I've never heard of that either. But I'll look it up.
So I did watch a movie this week.
What movie did you watch?
I watched a movie that is I guess it's a fan film. You know, it's one, Steve, we've been watching kind of this series for a bit now. And it's called Vengeance 2 Bloodlines. And it's a Friday the 13th fan film.
I think we
watched Vengeance 1.
Yeah,
I watched the prequel ones.
Don't Walk in the Woods.
Well, yeah, we watched so Vengeance 2, Tommy Jarvis and the same actors back as well. So it's about, huh?
So yeah, but who cares?
Well, I'm just.
I get it. It's a fun little thing, but like,
well, but the whole thing is it's a lore about Jason and his father is in it, Elias Voorhees, and they have to kill the Jarvis family to resurrect Pamela Voorhees. So it's a bunch of gobbledygook in regards to the storyline, but the kills, Steve, are awesome.
Is it like a YouTube or where do you see it?
I saw it by other means.
Oh, okay.
And it was in full HD.
How long is
it? It's 100 minutes. It's a feature-length movie. And the kills are, I mean, Jason is he ripped a guy's skull in half and then ripped his brain out and crushed it. It was awesome.
What?
It was awesome.
What?
I
want to see that.
He was pulling Mortal Kombat moves.
That's what's up.
Again, not saying it was great. Not saying the acting was fantastic. I laughed. My wife, she's like, it is what it is. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? Like, I look at what it seems like they upped the game, especially because of Terrifier. I mean, Jason, you didn't see the full shot, but macheted up a woman from bottom to top,
Right.
And so they were doing a lot of stuff, a lot of head splitting, a lot of punching through people, ripping hearts out. Ripping out spines.
Did it look good or did it look?
Some of it looked really good. Some of it looked kind of funny. He broke one guy's arm and you saw the bone stick out, but you could tell it was like a fake bone attached to his arm, and he's like walking around like But again, I give him props. I mean, it's low budget. it's they're not getting paid for it because it's a fanfic, right? Like it's
That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
But I definitely think you should check it out. Like Friday the 13th, Vengeance 2, Bloodlines. Like it's just a thing on the because it's weird because I'm flipping through the internet website and I see this thing called Vengeance 2 and it's a hockey mask and I'm like, why does that look like Jason? Is this supposed to be about Jason? Like, what is this? And then I click the trailer and I'm watching it. And I'm like, oh, this looks hilarious. I'm like, let me watch this. And then it was like, oh, wow, this is actually pretty good. Like, I'd give these guys props. Like, hey, these guys should be working to create a new Jason movie. Just like the Don't Walk in the Woods at Night, whatever it was.
Those were good, but they were part of their charm was that they were so short. It was like so
right.
easy.
I agree. Yeah. This one was a little long because they were really trying to get into the lore. Yeah, basically the Necronomicon kind of stuff. So I'm like, all right.
See, but that's when independent films, they get a little too well because they think that they can do more than and it's not for me to judge, but it's like it does get a little cringy sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. But again, the kills and there were so many of them.
Right.
And like Jason was just going to town. Like there was like a traffic jam. They were roping off, like getting into like near Crystal Lake. And all of a sudden Jason just pops out in the daylight and is just slaughtering everyone. And it was great. Great. For what it was, it's a hero. Entertaining, loved it. So I think you should check it out. And that's really it besides Mandalorian that I watch.
So when I go to bed at night, I'll try usually on Mondays, I'll try to like start a movie. And then, I'll watch like 10 or 15 minutes, fall asleep. And then the next night I'll try to put that same movie on, start where I fell asleep. And then hopefully by the end of the week, I've kind of gotten through the whole movie. So this last week I did that with a movie on Netflix called Dracula Untold.
Is that the one with Luke Evans?
Yeah. Have you seen that?
I saw that a long time ago. Yeah.
That movie is
not good.
Fucking weird, man. Like it's so like it would have been awesome if he didn't have that stupid I turn into a cloud of bats superpower.
Oh, it was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's just how he solved every problem. Was like poof bats, poof bats, poof bats. Like 1,000 men, poof bats. At one point, he poofs into a bunch of bats and turns into a giant fist made of a bunch of bats.
No, it was
punches somebody.
Terrible.
And it's just like, what the fuck?
What's up, Taylor? Kenneth says Kenneth gave Nope a hero.
Fuck yeah. It was really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Sean did not like Nope.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. You know what? Maybe that's what's happening. Giant flying kaiju mantis thing in the air.
I doubt it.
Well, it's really easy to get shot down.
It's true. It
That
was just a balloon.
Is it Deep Blue Sea back there, Steve?
Ding a ding ding ding! It is Deep Blue Sea that I put on
Sea.
for this evening.
There you go, James.
Deep Blue Sea.
Deepest, bluest. My heart is like a.
That song is terrible, but this movie is awesome. Deep Blue Sea is great.
All right, well, if that's all we watched, I know we'll talk about Mandalorian last, but you guys get anything for the toy box this week?
Mando.
I did my taxes this week, so I'm going to be getting some stuff for the toy box. But no.
I did find some VHS tapes.
Oh, I thought you were out.
I was, but I found these and I really wanted them. I found Mad Max.
Awesome! What a great box that is. Look at that.
Let me put you in solo layouts here.
That thing's great. That thing's great.
Look at that.
I love the bold yellow.
Yeah.
I need that fucking box.
You don't have this?
Mm-mm. I have the Thunderdome. That's it.
I do have Thunderdome, but it was that greatest hits one.
I have the black, no greatest hits. So
yeah, I feel some type of way about that, but I wanted it because I love Mad Max being on Thunderdome. I got Jewel Denial. Love that cover.
All those painted covers, like
Great.
like Romancing the Stone, that one, like all that.
Great. I have both of those, and then I got the Running Man with Schwarzenegger.
Very nice.
Yep.
I didn't have that one, so I really want. I was like, oh man, Running Man, I'll take it. That was about it. That's all I got.
It's like you're out until you find something cool, and you're like,
yeah, something cool that I've always wanted. I'm like, oh, cool. There's some movies that I'm gonna get rid of, but like,
okay. So you guys remember like maybe a couple months ago, I got that free big ass tube TV.
Yeah.
From work, like I just stopped in at a toy store and I was like, "What are you doing with that TV?" And he was like, "You could have it." And so I was like, loaded it up, brought it home, plugged it in, didn't work. Like, fuck. So it sat in my garage for hell long, and I've been doing some work out there, and I'm like, I want to see if I can see what's up with this thing because it didn't even turn on. So like maybe there's just something wrong with like the power part of it. So I took it all apart. I took the board out. I cleaned everything off. I replaced the fuse because it just took a standard fuse that I use for like alarm systems all the time. So I just swapped that out because I had a bunch and put it all back in, and the fucking thing turned on. And it started working, and I put it back together, and it still is alive. And I was like, holy shit, I made this giant fucking awesome TV work. And then after about 10 minutes of it being on, the top left corner started to bleed red, and the bottom left corner started to bleed yellow, and that is not a problem that can be fixed. So it's like, fuck. Like I was so high on the fact that I fixed that TV. I was juiced.
I know. I even texted you.
I was fucking excited, man. I was like, oh yeah, this is great. And then the picture started to bleed. And I'm just glad I left it on and cooking so that I didn't like integrate it into my video store room when I have that going and then turn it on just to find out that it's all fucked up.
Yeah.
So that does suck, but it was like 10 minutes of like awesome, feeling great.
Well, I mean,
and then reality crushed me again.
But at least you know that you can repair one, right? Like you did it, even though this one was probably past the point of no return.
Yeah, well, if it was just a power issue, that would have been great, but
yeah,
it was much more than that. So
very cool. Sean, you get anything besides anything else besides the tapes?
That was tapes. That was it.
And Steve, you got another? I did get 2 more comics this week. Going down my graded comic.
Slapping it up.
And I'm getting them all at a really good price. So like I can't pass them up. So I got X Factor number 6, The First Apocalypse, CBCS 9.6, but I paid less than like a mid-grade raw copy.
Is that because of CBCS?
I don't know. I just put in an offer and they accepted it. So $50.
Where'd you get it from?
Nice.
eBay. You got this one on eBay. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy with it. I wanted this book. So I mean, I don't care that CBCS. Actually, like comparing the CBCS slabs to the CGC, I kind of like the CBCS better.
Yeah, you always said that, but I don't agree with you.
But I mean, I just think that they seem to hold better. You know what I mean? Like CGC, you can see. You know, I haven't had one with those rings and stuff in it. I've seen those with CGC.
But CBCS ain't really worth. It's not as worth as much as a CGC.
I know, I understand for resale value and stuff, but the thing is like when you get keys like that, I'm gonna be able to flip this book and make more than I paid for it, guaranteed. You know, and that's the only reason I bought it is because I was like, I bought it at rock bottom. I'll make money off of it if I ever want to flip it. So, and then also I got because I'm trying to collect a lot of the Silver Age books. It's a Kirby cover, a Stanley story, Tales of Suspense 92. Nothing really special about it, but I got it in a 7.0, and I got it for $40. So Silver Age, Captain America, love the Kirby art. Cool. So it's just gonna go. You know, I'm building out this side. It's gonna be all kind of Avengers, Captain America, Iron Man type books, Hulk. I think I'm just gonna go with all those, just on this side of the wall, and then keep going with my Spider-Mans behind me, and then keep going with the border around the room. But yeah, so I mean, I got those 2. I got another important key coming. It's not a key book, but it's one that was on my New Year's resolution list. So got that coming. So hopefully I'll have it next week. That's really it. Just trying to do that, trying to build out my collections, going back through my Nintendo, as Sean was wearing a Nintendo controller shirt earlier. Um, Looking at other Nintendo games to pick up. The problem is I have a lot of games, and the games I need are worth a lot, so they're harder to find. So, I'm gonna have to start digging.
Mhm.
But that's really it from me.
I want to, I want to give a shout out, not even a shout out, man, a rest in peace, man, to a member of De La Soul, man, Dave from De La Soul. Man, you don't understand how De La Soul, like, for hip hop, for me, watching those videos of De La Soul back in like the 80s was so important to me. And Me, Myself, and I, a little was like one of those hip hop albums, like one of
Yep.
those videos that was just like, I love this video. And it's like Me, Myself, and I, and like that was like probably one of the awesomest like rap videos I had seen in the 80s. And I remember that so fondly of listening to it constantly over and over again. And honestly, I mean, De La Soul's first album was like one of the most iconic albums of all time. So hip hop albums of all time. So like, I gotta like give that rest in peace to Dave, man, because I love De La Soul. I used to work actually with Maceo's mom when I was working at a credit card company. She was a nice lady. She lived in Delaware actually, and very very nice lady. But like it hip. I mean, De La Soul was like part of my hip hop, and that's something that like I always kind of sat with, and I love De La Soul to this day. And that's I mean, although you hip hop, so I mean, how that's.
Yeah, I mean that's a staple of late '80s, early '90s hip hop.
Yeah.
Like that album. What did it come out with? It come out '89 and '90, like right around there.
Yeah, it was something around
Something like that, and I mean I remember seeing that video on MTV all the time.
Yeah,
All the time.
3 Feet High and Rising, man. That was 89 actually.
So
dope album. Just to get at. I mean, Steve, I don't know if you know more about De La Soul, but
not as much as either of you.
Yeah. So that's about it.
We need to integrate Steve. We need to do a hip hop song every week and just have him just listen to it.
I know.
From that era. And then get his feelings on it.
Yeah, but then he'll reverse on us and make us listen to his music too, and I don't know if I'm ready for
that. Yeah, you're right. I'm not.
I don't think you're ready for my music either.
No, we're not. Definitely not.
You'd be surprised, man. I actually like when I do listen to music. It's actually like a lot of like older shit like Depeche Mode and the Cult and stuff like that. Like it's more like some of that old like new wave stuff. And then I really like synth wave. I really like just listening to cool ass fucking techno music that's like who are those guys? Daft Punk. It's like them, but like not all like them. Like I really like this Time Cop shit. It's really good. Like so it's not all screaming metal. I do listen to that too, but
yeah, I can never got into that. The screaming metal stuff.
It's so good. It's so good.
I never got into any of that.
Yeah.
Hip hop was my bag. That was all it was. There was no.
See, I definitely got into. I was in that. You know what I mean?
I did love 80s rock. Like 80s rock stuff, I kind of love because there was like ballads and like
right. Like listen,
soundtrack to movies and shit like that.
Yeah, well, Guns
that
N'
was
Roses,
my only
Terminator 2 and stuff like that. Yeah,
I mean, 80s hair metal is fucking amazing.
I to this day I hate U2. I think U2 is the most shittiest band.
Don't say that to Jenny. Don't say that.
I like some of U2's songs, but you know what really pissed me off about U2 was when they gave their CD to everybody that had an iPhone. Fuck you for that. Don't do that shit. I don't want your fucking CD on my phone as a part of a free update. Get out of here with that. Ridiculous.
Jenny loves U2. So that's her thing.
Never understood.
But that's not 80s hair metal.
I never understood the love for U2. The music is just not great. I'm just like, what? Why? Why do people love this song? Like, I don't understand. It makes so.
You don't like any of their songs?
None of them. I like nothing.
Yeah, even With or Without You. That song's
I was going to say
classic,
With or
man.
Without You is pretty good.
That song's great. That song's
not,
great.
Not a fan. I just don't like you two. I don't understand it. I don't understand the appeal. It doesn't make any sense.
You don't like that song Vertigo?
No, see,
that was like everywhere.
I don't listen to you too.
What
Like,
about
I literally don't listen to you
What
too.
about the song on the Batman Forever soundtrack?
No, I don't like you too. I don't like you too.
Shut up, I'm just messing with you. I, just
I like how in the
even James. There you go. Here goes James. Sunday Bloody Sunday. What about Sunday Bloody Sunday?
In the beginning of Vertigo, he counts in Spanish. He's a 1, 2, 3, 14. But he does it in Spanish. It's really funny.
All right, Sean. That's all right. We all got. I hate Dave Matthews Band. I can't stand him.
I don't even know what the fuck Dave Matthews Band even sings. I have no fucking clue. No
they
clue.
sing that shit with the fucking with the. I just fucking can't stand it.
No idea.
We all have those bands that we hate. Like I can't stand the Doors. Can't stand it.
Don't care.
Never
care about the Doors.
I hate Nirvana.
Don't care about Nirvana.
I don't like the repeating. It repeats too much. It's so much repeating. You just do the same thing over and over again.
I've probably never listened to a whole Nirvana song ever in my life. Not one time.
I like Nirvana, so that's okay.
What else do you got?
Crashing to me, James. I don't like that shit.
I have no idea.
I wanna. Is that the word? He's like, I wanna crash. He does that weird thing with his voice.
I don't know. All my friends back home, man.
Was that Kurt Cobain? Like was that Kurt Cobain?
No, that's Dave Matthews.
Oh,
like they used to always.
Nirvana, right?
You know what would be really fun
is
if YouTube wasn't like super shitty and we could like start playing samples of these musics to like move this conversation further, but you know we can't do that, so that sucks.
Yeah,
we should do a
I think you can
tournament,
do that.
A tournament. It's a tournament of the shittiest bands. And who's the shittiest band of all?
Oh, what? Yo, people hate Nickelback, but I actually like Nickelback. I don't know.
Nickelback sucks.
Yeah, I like Nickelback. I don't know why. But it plays a lot of rock. It plays a lot of rock now.
That's not even rock. That's like, ugh.
Look at his photograph.
Pebble. That's not even rock.
Love that song. I love
you
song.
Love that song?
I don't know why. I love it.
Every time I do, it makes me laugh. Ugh.
I like that. I like James. I like Nirvana. I do something in the
I actually liked that version because they remixed it for the Batman movie. I like that version of the song.
I love Evanescence. I used to like Evanescence.
Oh yeah, the fucking Daredevil soundtrack. The fucking Ben Affleck Daredevil soundtrack.
Wake me up! Wake me up! I can't wake up!
I can just see fucking Daredevil just spinning his fucking batons.
No, that's not when that happened. That was when she was doing her montage with the sandbags. Remember? With the lightning and the flowing drapery.
Oh, I used to love that song. What other song? I love Aerosmith. I like Aerosmith.
You know, I'm not a huge fan of Aerosmith.
I love Aerosmith.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, they got a handful
Tyler's
of songs.
a weird dude.
You know, it is.
Even Tyler's got some skeletons in that.
You notice there's a pattern here, though. I like everything that was based off of movies. every rock band.
Oh, well, Sean. I mean, Aerosmith. He's talking about Aerosmith, like when Aerosmith
Armageddon.
for Armageddon. Whoo,
yeah,
shit was amazing.
I mean, it's why I like Guns N' Roses because Terminator 2, man. I agree.
I mean, I used to love Guns N' Roses. I like Guns N' Roses, but I love Guns N' Roses because Welcome to the Jungle was like part of Lean on Me. Welcome to the jungle, and it was like Lean on Me. Oh, that was weird. I have weird likes.
Yeah, that was a good Axl Rose you did there for a quick hot second.
I try.
You know, it just sucks. It's like it always sucks when like you have like bands or something that you follow or actors even or anything like that, but mostly just bands like, and then like some shit goes down and you're like, oh, but I still really like their music. but they're shitty people or like they did something really bad. Like,
R. Kelly.
Yeah.
I would never listen to another R. Kelly song ever again.
bro, I used to like this band called the Lost Prophets.
Bill,
Let's just say the singer of that band is in prison for a very good reason.
Oh shit.
I don't want to go into the details, but it is rough. But like every now and then I'll be listening to like my little sound shit. You know, I'm not, I still listen to Pandora because I'm old, but like I'll have my little stations going and a Lost Prophet song will come in and I'll be like, ooh, ooh, trying to skip it. Like I can't be associated with you anymore. Ah.
I became a fan of Daft Punk. I always liked them because I was, oh man, these guys are robots. Like this is really cool. But like it became more like, you know, I think more streetwear trendy in like certain aspects of streetwear and stuff like that. So Daft Punk became really like kind of, I was like really digging it when it came out, and I was like, oh man, like, you know, this is actually a dope album. And you know, they were making toys of Daft Punk, and like it was like, you know, it was considered like, you know, hype beast kind of stuff. And I thought that's where I kind of really kind of fell in love with
Shit, our first intro was sampled from a Daft Punk
straight
song.
sample from Daft Punk. Yeah. I just dig Daft Punk. I love the Gorillas too. Like the Gorillas is like tough. Like I love the Gorillas because they're cartoons, and like that for me is like really fucking cool. And it's like, wow, like they use the creative part of creating a hip hop / like rock band. And I thought that was like one of the one of the biggest things I've ever seen in my life. I was like, wow. And then one time I think they were at Coachella, and like they had them 3D on the stage and shit. I was like, oh man, I would love to see that. And they were actually like the cartoons. I think Madonna was performing with them at the Grammys, and they were like playing while she was like dancing around them. Like that shit was dope. I was like, wow.
I mean, favorite era of music for me is like got to be like early to mid 2000s. Like that's for me, like that's like peak the music I like and music I listen to. That was like where it was all hitting the most for me in my life. Like, plus, I actually did some research into this. There's like a chemical that changes in your brain at a certain age, and you're not receptive to newer stuff, like newer music, newer especially newer music. Like if you think about it, like every now and then I'll listen to some music my kids like, and I'll be like, oh, that I like the hook in that song, or there's something catchy about that. But I don't like none of their shit. I don't like listening to none of it. And my parents didn't like listening to none of my shit. Their parents didn't like listening to none of theirs. Like it never really transitions down. Now that doesn't mean that they're not gonna like listening to something I do. Like my kids love listening to music that I like. Same thing with me. I used to love listening to music my mom likes. I think it's just like there's like some barrier with like new shit that like I just can't get into.
Is that just because I think for me, I love all genres. I love all eras of music.
Well, I don't think it's like a scientific fact that it just stops. I just mean that
even now, like I love like certain genres of music. Hip hop is a little bit different for me now, but like there's like musicians or singers now that I love. Like I think they're great, and they do great music. Like I think
I'm not gonna lie, I like that new Taylor Swift anti-hero song.
I think The Weeknd is amazing to me. Like I think The Weeknd
is good too. Yeah,
it's great. I think I was digging Olivia Rodrigo, you know, for a while. I was like,
too. Yeah,
I kind of like this.
Kids listen to Jordan, like this is pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like there's, you know, and it's like even with hip hop, there's like certain.
Steve's like, nope.
Yeah, I think I love a person who can actually sing. And I do enjoy that part. Like, you know, a couple years ago was Sia. Like, I love Sia. And then Adele. And then, like, you know, Beyonce has her moments, but I'm not really a big Beyonce fan. So I'm not, like, really, I can say, like, oh, yeah, I love Beyonce. But she has some songs that I'm like, I kind of like this. You know, and then, like, for me, it was 80s, 80s, 90s hip-hop was pretty much all what was me. You know what I mean? So for me, and then like if you go back, I mean, music from back in the day is like what, you know, Al Green, Marvin Gaye, Lionel Richie, Stevie Wonder, like that's music. And then, you know, going back further to that is like, you know,
Steve loves K-pop.
I don't like none of that shit.
What
What are you
K-pop?
talking about? Yeah.
I don't know. I just figured.
I don't even like that baby metal bullshit. I don't like that neither.
I love music. I love music, and I love every era of music. I know it has to change, but there's music I just love. Like even there was moments, even man, when NSYNC like had that shit popping. I was like, yo, NSYNC. And then once that broke down and Justin Timberlake went on his own, I was like, yo, this motherfucker is nice. Like I was digging Justin Timberlake. I was like, yo, when he came out with that, as a matter of fact, the other day I was watching him and Timberland talk about, Crimea River.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, when that Crimea River shit hit, and when Justin Timberlake's first album came out, that shit was popping. Yo,
I agree.
He had
no problems with anybody. Like,
there was cats in the hood that was playing that shit, man. And I was like, yo, this motherfucker got it. Like
Playing what?
Crimea River.
Justin Timberlake.
When he was bringing sexy back.
When that first Crimea River came out, and Timberland did the beat on that shit, and everybody was like, "Oh shit!" Like, yo, that shit was hitting, and that transitioned Justin Timberlake to hip hop, and it made him work with that. Like and everybody kind of dug that.
I remember there being just like staple songs that when they came out, it was like a vibe of that time of my life. You know what I mean? Like they were just everywhere. I don't get that anymore these days. But then again, like I don't listen to the newest hits on the radio these days. So maybe I'm not catching that. But like I remember like, not for nothing. In the mid 90s when that Mortal Kombat song hit, that shit was fucking everywhere. You couldn't fucking go a day without hearing that shit on some radio station or in some store or something. Like that shit was everywhere. And then remember when Batman Forever came out, that Seal song was like you couldn't blink without hearing that.
I saw him sing that at Universal last year.
That's great.
Oh man, Joshua, we're going to talk about that. Sean and I were already getting into. We were already talking about Ja Morant.
You gotta give James a warning though, so he can plug his ears.
So because we don't want to get into basketball talk and just have everybody drop off. But Steve, I'm with you in the
consistently inconsistent.
That's the show, right? It feels like my youth, like every couple of years there was like a genre type music that I kind of went through, but there were always ones I kind of go back to, like 80s, like mid 80s. I was really like as a kid, like I loved Michael Jackson and Prince and stuff like that. I like that kind of that music. I got into hip hop.
Love Michael Jackson.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I am not a Prince fan.
No, but you know what? It wasn't. I'm not a big Prince fan. I know you have. I'm not but I remember MTV watching his music videos and be like, this is pretty cool, especially because his videos were like movies. You know what I mean? I never bought a Prince album. Period. Michael was my guy. I loved Michael.
I mean, Grant. That Purple Rain album with the motorcycle was tough shit though. Like yo, that shit was top shit. But a motherfucker dressed in fucking like Victorian fucking era pink purple shit, nah, not my bad.
And heels and shit. Yeah, it was.
Nah.
Although I do love the Dave Chappelle stuff, man.
That was not cool. That wasn't cool where we lived at. Motherfuckers wasn't wearing no shit like that in the hood like that. Motherfuckers wasn't walking down the street. The only motherfuckers walking around the street was other cats, but motherfuckers wasn't walking around with that crazy shit. Like you get your ass whipped if you was walking around with some shit like that.
Well, that too, and even Michael Jackson's red leather jacket from. Nah,
that was hood certified. Like that. Listen, you could pull that off, and motherfuckers wouldn't.
And the glove.
First of all, you wouldn't pull off the whole glove.
Okay,
now,
well that's what bad.
You look like an insane person, but the red and black jacket was popping. Like everybody was wearing that shit in the 80s. So that was good. Like you could pull that off if you could afford it. Because motherfuckers wasn't affording the red leather jacket back in the day.
That was a lot of money.
I was wearing cross colors back in the day, and some knockoff cross color shit. And maybe I had a Kanai shirt, but that was stretching it. I was stretching it. So, there were certain. Did people wear lugs?
Lugs.
Lugs.
Yes.
Yeah, that shit died out when Timberlands kind of jumped on the scene. But,
real quick.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to wear a lot of IOU. Remember that brand?
I don't remember that brand.
That was it was like sweatshirts and stuff like that. It was very.
I think I heard of IOU, but I don't remember.
It's like people would wear that in Z Cavaricci. I never wore Z Cavaricci.
Nah,
I never wore Cavaricci. That was never. That was like I was like.
I think that was more girls for me. That was more girls. I was wearing that shit.
Oh, everybody's one of those dress pants. You had a little on the zipper, the Cavaricci logo. I'm like, I never wore that. I was like, that looked weird to me.
I never wore that.
And then I was always rocking Nike or Jordan stuff. So
I wasn't wearing Jordans like that back then. I couldn't afford that shit.
I had an uncle who had no kids, and he would buy me Jordan stuff. So
I couldn't afford that till maybe 11th, 12th grade. Maybe.
But I also I worked as a kid. My slave labor. My dad used to make me do shit, and I used to go buy my stuff. He gave me $50 after I tore up carpet all summer from apartment buildings to have a new thing, and all I got was $50. And then he told me that's what you're gonna buy your school clothes with. Then I went to the clearance at Sport Mart. You know,
you learned an important lesson that summer. Don't trust your father.
Well, that too. But I also learned how to be thrifty. You know,
I'm gonna tell you, I had in elementary school, I think I had 2 pair of sneakers. One was a pair of Bobos that I was never gonna wear, and the other one was a pair of was a pair of low top Reeboks that I wore them so hard that I had a hole in them joints. Mm-hmm. The hole came in. I had to put cardboard in that shit for school, so I wouldn't have my sock wouldn't come out the bottom of the sneaker. And then when it wore out to that point, my mom did not buy me another pair of sneakers. I had to wear a pair. I'm gonna tell you right now, they were called Flits. Flite. Yo, you want to talk about the most embarrassing
flight?
No, it was Flit. They were called Flit.
I know, but I'm saying
it was terrible. It was terrible. And then the transition happened when high school came, and it was like, listen, I gotta wear Nikes. So I think I was wearing a pair of Huaraches in 9th grade, and I think in 10th and 11th, I started wearing Air Force Ones, and then it went over to I may have had a pair of Jordans in 12th grade, and I started getting more and more Jordans then. And but I'm gonna tell you, man, them younger years was treacherous.
It was tough. I know.
It was treacherous.
I had a pair of Cons. I had the Larry Johnson Converse, and the only reason I got those is because they were on clearance because they were the last season count. Remember the ones with the Charlotte, was it number 2 on the tongue?
Yeah,
I got them a year late.
The grandma on
clearance. I got them on clearance.
Yeah.
I had a regular pair of Nikes that were white and red. But again, I earned this money to do this. And then I had to take the rest of it, and I found like clearance rack t-shirts. I was getting AND1 t-shirts because they were two for $10 at that point.
I ain't getting AND1. I ain't started rocking AND1 till college.
I rocked AND1 in 8th grade.
Oh, you was balling. Well, wait, you're younger than.
Yeah.
AND1 wasn't around in 8th grade, was it?
It was. I had the shirt that says, "I'm a bus driver. I'm going to take you to school."
Are you sure? No, because
I am positive. Because I wore that shirt out so bad.
I did work for them in college. Are you sure?
I'm positive. Look up when they first started rolling out those T-shirts.
I remember I did a whole animation thing for AND1. Me and this team of artists, we did a whole animation thing for AND1.
Because this is when like they just started to come out. Because I remember seeing that one, the silhouette. Because even Chandler on Friends was wearing AND1, and I couldn't believe that when I saw that the first time. I was like, what? Let
me tell you. I remember when Stephon Marbury came out, and Stephon Marbury had the S chain.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to this spot. It was in town, and I made them make me an S chain out of silver with a silver link, and I had that S chain. I was rocking that shit hard with no diamonds on it. They put the cuts in it just to make it look like it was diamonds.
Look like it was shiny.
I was rocking
You'd only wear that in the sunlight, so it actually be beaming.
I was rocking that chain hard. Like I thought I was the shit with that S chain, and it had it was an S chain, and it had like it had like what was it? It looked like arrows. It was like arrows going through it, and it was yeah. Oh man, I tell you, the shit that I did. I never had earrings though. Never had earrings on here.
Yeah,
not one time. That's a crazy part.
I look back and seeing a lot of the stuff I used to wear. I was a fool.
Yeah, man, it was crazy.
I was a fool. So Joshua asked us about John Morant. John Morant is ruining his damn career for no damn reason.
I think Ja is going down a road that he probably shouldn't be going down because he's not a hood kid. He's not from the hood, really, to be honest.
No, and like I remember when he got drafted and like hearing about like his mom, his growing up, like his work ethic, coaches. And I'm just like, and then it's weird too, because it's like I didn't hear anything that happened this summer. But then it comes out after, I don't know if you heard about that Pacers game. Where his friends were at the Pacers bus, and I'm like, what the hell is happening here? And then all of a sudden he beat up some 17-year-old.
It's Memphis, man.
I'm like, this is crazy.
It's Memphis. It's like, he's trying to portray a role that maybe he was never privy to. That's the thing. That's what happens. Is like if you're not privy to the street, then you feel like you are missing something. I think from our Black community, I think that maybe he was never around, and now you have money. You can surround yourself with street dudes because all you're doing is paying them to be a street dude. So anybody wear FUBU? Yeah, I wear FUBU. I actually work for FUBU later on, but it was weird. Anyway, but I think a little it's just like he's and Shannon Sharp said it best, like he's just moving backwards. And yeah. I think the NBA is going to suspend him for the season.
They suspended Gilbert Arenas for a damn
I would be surprised if they didn't, but that would be kind of a bullshit move because he's the face of the NBA. I get it, but like you have to have that line. Like you have to say, look, you did this and you're representing us, then you have to be suspended.
It's conduct detrimental to the team and the league.
That's what I would think, and I'm surprised Memphis only gave him two games. Like 2 games.
Well, I think it was 2 games to figure things out. I don't know if 2 games is final. I think it just sounded like 2 games so we can figure shit out because we don't know what the hell's happening with this kid.
I think it's going to go down to a suspension for the year.
I think it's possible.
I think
the big problem.
I don't know.
The big problem with that team in general, right, is like they're all young players. They have no veteran leadership.
None.
And if they had a veteran like that was like a stalwart veteran, I'm just gonna throw like DeRozan there, just because I'm looking at DeRozan, because he's that veteran that people respect. I know you're shaking your head. I'm just saying.
No. I was thinking, yeah, maybe, yeah, you're right.
I don't think he would allow that stuff to happen. He would be talking to these kids differently, and explaining what the league is.
Maybe,
because like even though like I don't like LeBron, as a player,
LeBron
doesn't mess around, and all his friends, his stalwart of friends, they've all become successful around him. Like it's like he's showing him
how it's supposed to be done, but the problem here a little is, look, LeBron grew up in a rough area. He grew up in the that's fine, and that's different. You know that you have to get out of that situation. Some people don't really, and I mean, Allen Iverson had this issue too at one time where he couldn't get away from it either.
Yeah, no, you're right. I remember AI had a lot of problems with it.
Yeah, I had a lot of problems, but Ja is like you going like, and like Shannon said, he's like, you going backwards, bro. Like you need to check yourself. And the weird part is that his father is in his life, and he's not saying anything. Like if that was my son, shit. None of I don't give a fuck how much money you have. You is not doing none of that shit. At 23 years old, which my son is, you are not doing any of that because I taught you better. I taught you how to be by yourself and how to do things properly. So the fact as a father, I would be embarrassed if that was my son. I would feel like shit that I didn't do my job.
It's sad that this kid is flushing a superstar career down the toilet. That's it.
I mean, it's not going to flush him all the way because he's young.
He is. He can dig out. He can dig out.
He can
Ryan
dig
says
himself
his dad
out.
is an enabler. It might be. It might be.
It might be too. It might be.
know.
Man. We don't really know, but like it may be because it seems like his dad's like looking for clout. Like he seems like he's at the front court of the games, putting himself out there. Like man, like yo, why are you doing all this? Like
I thought Lamar Ball was a fool of a dad, but
man, like I think this dude is like I think his dad is just like again, like Ryan says, an enabler. And it's bad. It's really a bad situation. I feel bad for him. At the same time, man, like yo, you just as a black man, you just pulled us back more because of your actions, and you represent the black community. I'm sorry to say, you pulled us back, and now they're going to look at you in a different light, and that's sad going forward.
Yeah. Joshua, no, Fields is QB1. He's not going anywhere. We're going to trade the number 1 pick for more picks and build around Justin.
Y'all got number 1 pick?
Yep.
We got the y'all going for it? Who you trying to get?
They're going to trade it back. They're going to trade back. A lot of teams want that number 1 pick. They're going to get a boatload of picks to build a team. They need a build. I mean, they cut everybody. Got rid of everybody.
Oh, you need to.
So.
They need a whole new squad, man.
Some of the other Memphis players can be bad influence, like Brooks. All the fighting he's been doing lately. That's what I'm saying.
Brooks,
like I don't think that they have.
He does that on the court. I don't think he's a tough guy outside. Maybe he might be.
I don't know. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think they have any veteran leadership. I think they need a veteran leader. Like that's the thing. You see a lot of these young teams, and they had success last year. So now it got to their heads.
I agree.
And I don't know.
They don't have a veteran. They do not have a veteran. Steven Adams is the oldest but youngest player on that team.
But he's not. Well, who's going to listen to Steven Adams?
Nobody. He has no presence whatsoever.
Exactly.
Influential in people's lives.
No.
Especially in the black kids' lives too. Like it's different.
No.
So they definitely need like a Udonis Haslam on that team, something like that.
Something that they'd be afraid of, stepping out of line.
Yep, I agree.
So, well, there you go.
There you go. We talked about it.
You guys got anything else? Steve, I know that you didn't care for the basketball talk there. But anything else going on, Steve? Any other geek news that we need to discuss? I don't think you're on mute, Steve.
They released the cast list for the new Ninja Turtles movie. I'd like to go over that with you fellas.
Is there? I forgot there was a new Turtles movie.
The animated Turtles movie.
The animated Turtles movie.
What does it look like? I'm so curious.
It looks like a hybrid between the latest cartoon and the old movies. So I actually don't hate all the looks. I never liked
there's art. Yeah, there's artwork out there.
Oh, and Josh wants to know if you guys looked at the Batmobile from McFarlane. If you guys have seen that.
Yes, and it does, like from the pictures, it looks great. I would like to see one in real life to see. They always make those fucking figures look fantastic on pictures all the time. But then you see them in the store and it's like, what's wrong with their face,
Oh, how big is that Batmobile?
I think it's 6-inch scale, so.
Oh, it's got to be pretty big, man.
Yeah, the McFarlane vehicles have been relatively big, so.
People gonna buy that quick though.
All right, so the cast list for the Seth Rogen produced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated movie goes as follows. The 4 turtles are played by kid actors. So like Nicholas Cantu, is Leonardo, Micah Abbey is Donatello, Shaman Brown Jr. is Michelangelo, and Brady Noon is Raphael. The only one I really know is Brady Noon, and that kid was like the main kid on that Mighty Duck show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the main kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have the other kids done anything?
I haven't looked them. I mean, I looked them all up briefly, but I didn't recognize anything off the top of my head. So there's your 4 turtles. We got Ayo Edebiri as April O'Neil, and Ayo Edebiri. That sounds familiar. Like, where do I know that name from?
I don't know. Again, another name that does not seem to be.
Yeah, Sean, you would remember who Ayo Edebiri is. She was the chick from The Bear.
Oh, the black girl.
The black chick from The Bear. Yeah.
Who is she?
She's gonna play April O'Neil.
Okay.
Remember, it's animated. It's voice. So
yeah, I guess.
You got Jackie Chan as Splinter. It's kind of fucking awesome.
I mean, that's probably the best casting that this movie has.
I don't know how this is gonna look, and I really don't care about an animated movie, to be honest with you.
I
want live action again, Steve. I need live action again.
You got Hannibal Buress as Genghis Frog.
Okay.
You got Seth Rogen as Bebop, John Cena as Rocksteady. That's kind of cool. I like that. In a weird turn, you have Rose Byrne playing Leatherhead.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got, I don't know who that is. Natasha Demetrio is playing Wingnut. I don't know who that is. Ice Cube is playing Superfly. Giancarlo Esposito is playing Baxter Stockman. Post Malone is playing Ray Fillet. Maya Rudolph.
A lot of characters, right?
Maya Rudolph is Cynthia.
That's too much for one movie.
Wait. And last but certainly not least, Paul Rudd is playing Mondo Gecko.
They pulled out the whole roster, didn't they?
What kind? Yeah. So this definitely is not going to be an origin movie. They're just going to make a story, because all these characters have to exist.
They have kids playing the turtles, like kids.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, it's not going to be like the origin of the turtles, right? Like, they're going to already have been established, because there's no way you can introduce all these characters.
They're probably, of course, they're probably going to already be established. And then the title of this movie is Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. So I'm assuming, there's going to be a reason for all these other creatures running around.
Isn't that the name of one of the video games?
Bless you.
Sorry.
Bless you. I think that's one of the. I think that's one. Oh no, I think it's Mutant Melee. I'm looking at right now for the GameCube. I swear to God, that sounds like one of the the next gen video games that came out with the turtles. But
so I just thought that cast list was pretty cool. I thought Jackie Chan and Splinter was perfect casting, like you said, a little. And then Giancarlo Esposito is Baxter Stockman. It's going to be great.
There's no Shredder.
There was no Shredder announced in that list. So they're saying a trailer should be incoming rather shortly. Also, I saw some news today popping off about Jake Gyllenhaal posing at the fucking UFC fight. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And there was videos and all this shit. So I'm like, what is this?
A movie, right?
It turns out the Roadhouse remake is filming, and Jake Gyllenhaal is playing Patrick Swayze's character. And apparently he was in the UFC at some point because he was filming scenes for that at the event.
Are you guys going to see Roadhouse, the remake?
Depends.
I'm not.
Why not? You didn't like the first Roadhouse? Roadhouse is great.
Well, why do I need to see another one?
What if it's awesome? I don't know. It's a guy fighting bad guys at a bar. Should be sweet.
All right. Maybe. I'm not looking at.
And then there is another Hellboy movie coming.
Yes. Third one with another person
A
playing
fourth Hellboy film.
Well, fourth one, but third incarnation of
4
Hellboy.
Hellboy films, and we haven't gotten more than one shitty Green Lantern film. 4 Hellboy films, and the Flash movie is yet to come out. 4 Hellboy films and 2 Aquaman movies before Nightwing gets some love. God damn it. What are we doing? 4 Hellboy films. But for what it's worth, it does sound kind of cool. Like it's like in the 1500s, or not the 1500s. What am I saying? Because he was found in World War II, so it's in the 1950s. It's called The Crooked Man. It's from a comic run, and he's stuck in like the Appalachian Mountains with a rookie agent, and they're at some fucking village that's like haunted by witches. So could be fucking cool, you know?
Yeah,
and it's a younger Hellboy story. He's supposed to only be like 20.
The guy who played Black Tom Cassidy from Deadpool 2 is playing Hellboy. So, there you go. It's fine.
They released the trailer.
We did not see. Oh, I didn't see Creed 3. I don't know if you guys have. Do you guys see Creed 3? Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
That's another thing. Remember when we started the show and we'd go see like every movie in the
every
theater?
weekend?
Every movie. Yeah, we don't do that. We don't even see fucking superhero movies day of release if we don't agree on it.
The pandemic put a whole different thing.
No.
They said they filmed him winning his fight with a flying knee. Oh, well. That's how it normally goes in the UFC.
I don't know. I don't watch UFC fights. It's not into it.
They're making a Dead by Daylight movie based on the video game. Because here's what's going to happen. Mario's going to hit, and then they're going to want to start doing the comic book thing, and they're going to want to start turning every fucking
Well, I mean, they've already had some
video game
success,
property.
Right? I mean,
they haven't had any success.
And yet they still
Uncharted did well for them.
Uncharted it didn't do well enough to get a sequel.
They still didn't do God of War yet. They should have been done God of War.
But The Last of Us is hitting.
I don't think anybody here has seen Shazam Day of Joshua.
Yeah, I don't even know if I want to.
No, I don't even want to see it.
Look, every time I see the trailers, I just cringe.
It looks so stupid. So stupid.
I'm just like,
I am not enthused to see it. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'll probably end up seeing it, but I don't know. What? There's something that comes out next week, right? I think.
Yeah, 2 things come out next week: Scream, and that 65 movie.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Jenny wants to see 65. Yeah,
I'm definitely seeing Scream, so I'm seeing that day.
I might have to go see both. So
I might go see 65. I don't care about Scream.
God of War is getting.
It'll be on Paramount in like a month.
I don't care. I want to see it in the theater. The early buzz, early reviews are. It's the best since the original. Is the early talk.
I can wait.
But I mean, that's kind of like what everybody says,
fan.
Right?
That is true. That is what everybody says, and then we go to the theater and it's like disappointing. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to. Scream was so unique. It's tough. It's really tough to kind of relive that magic because it came out at the right time. Every sequel's been okay, but it's never been as good as the first.
No. Did you ever watch the newest one?
Yeah. I think didn't we review it?
I don't think so.
I can't remember now. I thought we did.
Or maybe we did. I've come around to like that movie more, but I still have problems with it. So I'm a little curious. And a lot of it was like the main girl. And she's in this next one. So I'm like,
Well, her and Wednesday Addams are.
Yeah, but Jenna Ortega did great, just like she always fucking does. There's a reason she's in everything. I'm not worried about her.
Did you see Jenny Ortega and what's the girl from Parks and Rec?
Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza.
Like, not for nothing. I was like, oof. That just those two. It was quite nice.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty cute.
Deadpan all day, man. But other than that, like, there's not that we could watch any. I don't think any new trailers dropped this week.
No,
I mean, they did drop the new trailer for the live action adaptation of Peter Pan that's coming to Disney Plus.
Interesting.
Did you watch that?
I did. I didn't have a problem with it. Everybody's getting upset because it's like, oh, the Lost Boys are now they're girls, but I don't care. Like, is it that serious? Man? Like, it's not that serious to me.
Oh, I
Like,
thought they'd be complaining that Tinkerbell was played by an African American lady.
I mean, I don't care about that. That never bothered me either. Like, the Lost Boys were little white kids in the cartoon, so like, I'm okay with that. And then in Hook,
I thought we all agreed that like the original Peter Pan cartoon was problematic.
Yeah, like
for a lot of reasons.
It was like a kid dressed up all black.
I'm pretty sure there was a song that, like, even the title was like dumb racist. Like,
yeah, it's like okay. Well, the cartoon doesn't count, but Hook was. I mean, Hook's Lost Boys were really cool. Like, you know, that was cool. But like, I'm fine. I'm fine. Lost Boys it's not that serious to me. Like, I'm cool with that. I'm fine with African American Tinkerbell. Like, it is what it is. This is a fantasy world. Does it really matter? It does not matter. You know? So I'm okay with that. Like, I'm cool with this.
Yeah,
I'll watch it.
I don't understand like how you out yourself. Like, they can't make Tinkerbell black. Like, but like, why would you say that? Like, why not? Who says? Like who says? Because the what if they colored her that way in the cartoon? Would you be mad now? Like, it's just so weird. People get hung up on the dumbest shit.
Yeah,
man. Race is a huge issue, man. It's like, oh, Ariel can't be black. I'm like, wait, what? Why? Why not? It's a
mermaid.
It's
a mermaid. Real?
Like,
yeah.
They're not.
And technically speaking,
conspiracy theory wise, they may be a little.
and I don't know about you, but like
in Antarctica,
like not for nothing, like I ain't seen no Caucasian fish getting pulled out of the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like it's probably not a good like defense mechanism to have pasty ass white skin under the ocean.
Yeah, agreed, Steve. Agreed.
Like, where can I eat today? Says the shark. Beep, 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 beep. There's a fucking European ass fucking mermaid over there. Let's just swoop down and gobble it.
You're so right. It's so true. It's so true.
Joshua said that Battinson's Joker rumor is that he got his ass beat by Batman so bad that all his wounds are fresh, and that's why he's kind of crazy. That's why he's got the scars.
The jury's still out for me on the Battinson project.
I agree, Steve.
We'll see. I mean, it's cool for what it is. I'm not going to poo-poo the movie, but I didn't like it as much the second time that I watched it. It's not one of those movies that gets better the more you see it. Like,
it does not. It does not. Al.
I watched it a second time with the fam.
I watched it again. I was like, I did not like this movie.
And I was just like, I'm kind of bored.
It's cool. That first time in the theater, it's great because you're just, you know, the next scene, what's happening. But like, I don't know. Like, it's fine. It's just not like
they wanted him to be a detective, and like he didn't really solve anything.
He ain't solved shit. He was the worst detective I've ever seen.
I hated when they said something about like a flying rodent, and he was like stool pigeon. I'm like, stool pigeon? That's like a term used in like the fucking 40s. Where the fuck is this taking place? And like, by the way, your character is Batman. A rodent with wings. Not one of these two geniuses says the word bat in any of that. You're like, okay, what the fuck?
Hey, I didn't mind the I didn't mind that. I kind of like that part of the soundtrack.
Yeah, but some of like the other music, like it was like really whimsical and weird.
It was very whimsical. I agree.
Like almost like they were like trying to hit Danny Elfman tones, but like that's a wildly different pitch. You know, that's a wildly different tone of a movie.
Yeah.
Tim Burton that Danny Elfman fits. It does not fit this.
I mean, I at first I was very on the Batmobile. Again, I'm still on the Batmobile.
I kind of like the Batmobile.
It's cool.
That was one of the best chase scenes I've seen in a movie in a long time.
It's cool, but it's still not a Batmobile to me. It's just a regular car. It's not.
I agree with you, Sean. It's not a Batmobile.
It's not a.
No, not yet. I don't think it is yet, but I think it's the foundation.
I don't think it's going to either. Like, I don't know, but
he did just kind of have like a really nice muscle car and a really nice motorcycle.
The horrible Nirvana song. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. How much Steve hates Nirvana.
Well, it's good. I like that version of that song, but they play it more than once in weird spots, and you're just like, I don't need it.
I didn't like it. I really don't like it. Like, again, I keep telling you, they have not really. Well, I'll be honest with you, Batman. Ben Affleck's Batman was the fucking best Batman I've seen on screen so far.
For a short period of time, though.
I know. Though,
Yeah,
that's the worst part about
but
it.
that's the crazy thing is he made that impact with that amount of screen time. If he had been given more,
You know why?
If he had been given
Because
more,
you didn't get
listen.
anything else.
Can you let me fucking finish a goddamn point a little every now and then? Can I just get one whole thing in?
Conspiracy
Son of a bitch.
A Lil will not let you talk.
I'm gonna make you look this way.
In a shocking turn of events, a little. No, maybe he would have worn out his welcome with that full length movie. Maybe it wouldn't have been as good, and it would have soured our feelings on it a little bit more. If that script hadn't have been right, if something was off about it, maybe it wouldn't have. Maybe the reason why we like him so much is because of what could have been, and what we saw was so good that like we just wanted more of that, but like we're never gonna get it. But like that was a mistake. Remember, Sean, they fucking released that whole warehouse fight a week before that movie came out. And we were like, oh my God, this is what we're going to get in this movie. And yeah, we got that, but that's about all we got.
That was it. Yeah, I know.
So it's like, fuck.
His scene in the Suicide Squad, the first Suicide Squad, wasn't bad either.
Again,
you're right, Steve. I do wonder if it is those short doses.
Again,
and he's gonna be fucking awesome in the Flash too. I guarantee you.
I guarantee you.
I don't like that suit he's in.
I don't care.
No, he was like this. Gray. He was like this, sliding on some shit.
John, did you see the blue? Did you see the blue?
Steve, listen, man. Look, I don't know what the fuck James Gunn is thinking over there, but like, man, if they give us a bullshit ass Batman again, I swear to God, I'm gonna snap because I don't understand why they just don't follow what you see on video games and TV and cartoons. Like, Batman the Animated Series is one of the greatest fucking Batman stories ever told, and they still do not follow anything from this series at all. It makes no fucking sense to me. It is the greatest Batman story ever fucking told. The Arkham games is one of the greatest video games ever told story-wise. That Batman is the best fucking Batman we've ever played in a video game. We've probably already gotten. But it's like, all you have to do is merge the two and make it into a storyline. It's not hard. It's like, oh, great Robin. It's like great Robin, great Joker, great Batgirl, great Alfred, great. It's like all these great fucking things that you have, you've never used them.
It's because I don't know. It's like with the movies, it feels like the directors, the story writers, they really want to give you this alternate take, and it's like I don't want an alternate take. I want the character. It's like they did that. They pulled that bullshit with the Amazing Spider-Man a little with his suit and with what they were doing with his backstory and all that crap. Like they were like, we're going to go for an alternate take. And have you looked up some of the alternate suit designs they had for that first Amazing Spider-Man movie? Woof. We got off lucky with that weird ass basketball pattern fucking rubber suit that we got. We're lucky we got that, because some of the other designs they were thinking about going with were like, why would you even want to do that? Like, what makes you look at the character of Spider-Man or Batman and you see that design and you see what the character is and you're like, we're going to do that, but we're going to change everything about it and people are going to love it.
It's like, it's like going back to Batman, we've never gotten a real Joker. I mean,
agreed, James. Agreed.
I mean, James. I think Jack Nicholson's Joker was great. It was really great, but we still haven't gotten the Mark Hamill Joker yet. Not one time. We keep getting all these iterations,
weird versions.
Of Heath Ledger,
which was great.
Which was great.
Jared Leto.
Great Joker. You got Jared Leto's fucking Joker. We
Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
It's like, dude.
Now we got this Barry Keoghan Joker.
Like, it's like, come on, like, why?
And they're all like covered in scars and like face tattoos and shit. And you're like, I guess the closest we got to that version of Joker, Sean, honestly, the closest we've gotten, was probably the Joker at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League.
But that was like 2 seconds.
But that's the closest we've gotten. He was just a dude with makeup.
No, but he had on a fucking vest.
It was post-apocalyptic. He wasn't covered in scars and face tattoos and all that other shit.
I don't know, man. I'm not going to count that one.
I hate Jack Nicholson's Joker. I loathe Jack Nicholson.
It's not great. It's not a great Joker, but it was.
He's completely. He has the complete wrong look for that character. 100%. Yeah. The face makeup doesn't hold up after all these years. It just looks weird and not. I
don't like that Joker, man. That Joker looks stupid. It just looked dumb. Like it's just not. It looks like he's deformed. Like it's not a Joker to me.
Yeah, the Joker didn't have a weird permanent smile thing on his face. The whole point was he could look pissed off, and that was terrifying.
But like we don't have to get Mark Hamill to play the Joker. We just need a Joker-esque Mark Hamill style Batman animated series Joker. It's not hard to do. Pointy, like I want it to look like a Joker. Like I don't get it. Like fucking Harley Quinn. They went off on a fucking tangent with Harley Quinn. And like I liked Harley Quinn, but like, come on, man. Like,
do you remember that independent fucking Batman Dead End that came out fucking years ago?
Yes.
Where he fought the Predator and the fucking aliens and all that shit.
That was a really cool style of the Joker.
That was a perfect. He had the hooked nose. He had the pointy chin. He had his lips were like he had a crazy smile. Fucking his eyes were wild. Like it looked great for 30 seconds.
It's not hard. It really isn't hard. And I'm very curious to see what James Gunn does, but I don't think he's going to do the right thing. I really don't. I'm betting on it. It's going to look different. But if we get a Bat Family, I'm hoping that the whole Bat Family is there. Again, like
we're starting with respect.
We're starting with Damian. So
James mentioned that. He said that's when it pissed him off was when James Gunn went straight Damian Wayne. Like I get introducing a Robin and wanting it to be Batman's son, I guess makes it more believable than just some other orphan that you pick up off the streets. What are the chances?
Believable. We've known the Batman story for 80 years. We know Robin is his ward.
I'm okay with Damian. Like Damian is not a problem for me.
No, I've grown to like and appreciate Damian. Did you ever watch that animated Super Sons movie yet, Sean?
Oh, goddamn! Keep meaning to watch it.
You gotta fucking watch that.
But Steve, I've seen Damian in action. It's like for me, Damian is fine because he's the last Robin. So
if we have the others already aged up in the background, then they can continue moving forward with the story.
We've cemented the Bat Family, and we don't have to go in to iteration. We already got.
They could do that in an animated almost montage where they just go through the history of the fucking this Robin, that Robin, and then now we're into the story.
I like what James Gunn did because I'm like, oh, okay, cool, Damian. So we already got Dick Grayson. We already got Jason Todd. We already got Tim Drake. Like it's great. I'm like, oh fuck. Like, thank you, Steve, for chiming in. But like, it's like
I know this shit.
Yeah, but I'm glad. I'm like, oh man, so we get all three of them, and we get Barbara Gordon. I'm like, fucking great.
Like, that is great, especially because like remember, we, as much as I love like the Zack Snyder shit, like there's things that irritate me. The fact that was a Richard Grayson gravestone on Wayne Manor, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you're just automatically saying no Nightwing? Like, I don't like that. That sucks.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
Yeah.
So there are some things that I'm glad that I'm going to see changed, but who knows? This is what we want, Sean. We want that all the other Robins in there.
Well, James did say Bat Family, right? He did say something about the Bat Family, right?
Doesn't mean anything to him. The Bat Family could be Batgirl and Jim Gordon and fucking Robin and Alfred. There's your Bat Family.
I would hope not. I would hope. Look, James Gunn is a comic book guy, so like I would hope he respects the source material on that kind of shit. And what he did with Guardians, he respected the source material. He went every which way, but like he still stayed true to the source material of Guardians.
It's true.
And I think that you can't fuck up Batman and be like, oh, well, we're just going to start here. No. James Gunn follows the guidelines. He loves DC. He loves what he's gonna follow the guidelines. I in James Gunn I trust with Batman.
Sean, that first time you see fucking Batman fucking the criminal look up and Batman's fucking on the gargoyle or whatever, and then all the Bat family comes down first. Boom, 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 boom. Like all of them. And the Batman behind him with the cape.
I will be naked, just like a little bit naked in every Marvel movie since, except for Eternals. I will be naked up in there, like with chest out like this, like yes. Like
They have to have Tim Drake in The Brave and the Bold. He has to be the Robin that's on his way out. So Damian moves in. That's the conflict of the whole first time Damian Wayne's introduced to begin with.
I think
that has to be part of it.
Sean's drinking that Kool-Aid. It's gonna be the little of the DC. I mean, no, I'm not gonna go that far, but like I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I'm looking for something new because if everything gets reset in the Flash, I'm happy. I still want Superman. I really do want Henry Cavill back, but I'm okay though. If we get a new Superman, I'm fine. As long as they do everything Superman right, I'm fine with that. If they do, if they learn from some Man of Steel and they do some of the Man of Steel stuff, I'm hoping that we get that. Like, but I don't need a Superman that's so grounded. Like, if we go back to the Donner Superman, I'm done. I quit. Like, I don't want to go back to that level of Superman.
They just screwed the pooch with Henry Cavill. Like, I love him as Superman, but it's been 10 years since the Man of Steel came out.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Like, they could have had 2 fucking sequels by now. They could have had 2 full-fledged. They could have had a whole-ass Henry Cavill trilogy. Right now, we could have that in this world, in this lifetime.
I mean, everything sounds great that he's doing, and James Gunn is coming up with. We'll see, but like, it's going to be a test, man. His first movie coming out the box, it's got to be a hitter. It's got to be a hitter, or we ain't going nowhere. It's got to hit right out the box. Am I right, Lil? Like, it's got to hit right out the box.
It has to. If it doesn't knock it out of the park, it's 2 steps back.
I agree. Well, they're not doing Supergirl because they are doing Superman.
Well, they are doing Supergirl as well, but
yeah.
Superman's supposed to be first.
But I'm fine with Supergirl though, like because I was waiting for Supergirl anyway in this reiteration of the DC universe. So I'm fine with that. I like Supergirl. I think Michael Turner's Supergirl was amazing.
We didn't talk about the Flash trailer, but you know what? Like that scene where they're breaking Kara out, it reminded me of Young Justice. When Superboy is in that kind of like lockdown prison kind of thing, and then the Young Justice team goes in and kind of breaks him out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of it gave me those vibes because then he kind of got into the sun and kind of got
Steve, it's exactly that. It's exactly that.
No. See, there's a version of Superman where that happens. Isn't that Frank Miller's version?
That's that's Flashpoint Superman.
That's Flashpoint Superman, yeah, and where he's skinny and then he gets the sun hit and then
but he sacrifices himself like right away. At least in the animated movie.
Yeah, he did sacrifice himself. Yeah,
not in the. I don't remember. I didn't read the whole run of the books, but at least in that Flashpoint
in the movie he was. Yeah.
Joshua, that's a good question. Like, could Superman because it's Superman Legacy is the title after his death or something? There's a chance that they're going to use his son because that's a popular book right now, right?
Oh, we definitely are going to get a Super Sons movie.
If Damian fucking succeeds and is good in that Brave and Bold movie, they will fast track a Super Sons movie.
I agree.
Guaranteed.
I agree.
And if it's done the same way that the animated movie is, Sean, I would be all here for it.
I mean, the comic book was great. So, like, I think Super Sons would be phenomenal to have. And honestly, if they do it right, they could do Teen Titans. If they really did it right, you could definitely do a Teen Titans. Like,
or just Titans. You don't need to even go. I mean, but
yeah.
I know we got the bad taste in our mouth from that TV series, but
I don't even watch that season yet, and I won't.
I'm not.
There's actually good reviews of that Gotham Knight show coming out. You're like,
is it still coming out? I thought it canceled.
It's still coming out.
Still coming out.
So, all right. I think we're done.
We tapped out. This show was a great show tonight.
Yes, and Steve has made a logo for our constantly inconsistent podcast. So I like that. I like that new title. We might have to do a second reboot, or at least a reimagining. So down the road. So we'll talk about it. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for your support. Thank all the patrons who've been scrolling on the bottom here. Thank you for everyone who is in the comments. Thank you for everyone who leaves us likes and please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the podcast. And this is a little.
And this is Sean. I had to take a picture because I'm gonna make a face. I'm gonna make a YouTube ad for.
Wait, you took a picture of our faces just now?
Yeah.
When I was looking like this and fucking all dumb and shit.
Oh, were you? I didn't know.
Yeah. At least let me fucking like.
I got you again.
Anyway. Anyway, and then this is Steve. And until next week, everybody, stay safe, be nice to each other for God's sakes, and keep it geeky.
And don't let the aliens get you.
Lizard people are out there.